So RS means behavior. Our syllabus is intelligence, cognitive, social, emotional, culture, and spiritual intelligence. Personality, trait, type, determinant of personality, assessment of personality. Learning and motivation, style of learning, model of memory, cause of forgetting, and assessment of motivation. State and management, nature, type, source, symptom, effect, stress management, promotion of mental health. So first, cognitive intelligence. It is the ability to solve problem, reason logically, and comprehend complex idea. Component are the logical analytical reasoning, pattern recognition, highest correction with highest correlation with the general intelligence, information processing capacity, and critical thinking ability. Assessment mental by IQ test, measure problem solving problem. NTSC, National Talent Search Exam, evaluating critical thinking beyond rate rote learning. Multiple choice questionnaire. Then the computerized adaptive testing, evaluate conceptual understanding. So key dimension of this cognitive intelligence is the fluid intelligence, means novel problem solving. Crystalline intelligence means knowledge application, and cognitive reflection, overriding intuitive response, means internal knowledge is response by internal knowledge. Then the what is the table in which the intelligence type. So cognitive intelligence, the abilities are problem solving, patterns recognition, and reason, logical reasoning. So assessment by IQ test, NTSC, and CAT. Social emotional intelligence, so emotional management and social awareness abilities, and behavior observation and EQ test. Cultural intelligence was cultural adaptation and cultural knowledge abilities, and CQ assessment and situational task. Then the spiritual means meaning making. Transcendence means go beyond the limitation. So self regulation and intervention. Then the social and emotional intelligence. So core component are self awareness, means recognize emotion, self emotion. Then the self regulation means manage own emotion. Then the empathy, understanding others feeling, and this is the emotional intelligence. Then the social intelligence, so the social skill like relationship management by internal motivation, intrinsic trait. The application, so emotional management, effectiveness, leadership development, team collaboration enhancement, and conflict resolution. So social intelligence. Then the cultural intelligence, so key element, culture knowledge base, cross culture adaptability, interculture communication skill, and cultural sensitivity. And knowing the sentiments, cultural sentiments, and religious sentiments. 11th area, governance in diverse setting, public policy implementation, and community engagement, and administrative effectiveness. Then the spiritual intelligence. So central aspect is meaning making capacity, value based decision making, transcendent awareness, and holistic perspective. Then the administrative awareness of spiritual intelligence. So ethical governance, purpose driven leadership, and crisis resilience, and policy vision development. So then the second topic is personality. So in personality is the derived from the word persona, which means the outer shape. So the it is the psycho mental and internal tribe. So thread theory. So big five means ocean, openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. So negative emotion. Then the Isaac pain. So psychoticism, extraversion, and neuroticism. Then the Gettle's 16 PM. So 16 primary personality factor. So type approach, Mayer's brick type indicator, MBTI, 16 personality type. Then the dice, so dominance, influence, steadiness, and constantness. And the enogram means personality type with wing one, 9 personality, and which is one is dominant, 9 personality wing one. Then the personality assessment approach. So how we three approach, dimensional or trait approach, in which big five: question, openness, consciousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Neuroticism means negative emotion. Then the categorical means the type personality assessment approach. So MBIT means Mayer's bring type indicator. Then the enogram means 9 personality type with wing one, means one dominant. Then the unconscious or projective type means was the include test and thematic appraisal test. Then the determinant of personality, so biological factor, genetic predisposition, 40 ratio 60 by heredity, and neurophysiological aspect, and temperamental influence, and evolutionary perspective. Then the environmental influence on the determinants on the family dynamics and parenting style, and cultural socialization process, educational experience, socio-economic constant, and peer relationship. Then the interaction model, interaction between biological and environment. So gene environment interaction, epigenetic mechanism. Epigenetic means change in gene without alteration under life DNA. Then comes the biophysio psychological framework and ecological style theory. The assessment of personality. So self-report method means new personality inventory question. Openness and the openness, consciousness, extrovertness, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Then the Minnesota multiphasic test. So Minnesota multiphasic personality test inventory. It is basing on trait and allopathic, psychopathology, and 16 personality factor questions. Then the projective techniques are resume ink blog test, thematic perceptive test, and sentence completion test. Then the behavioral assessment by situational judgment test and behavior observation protocol and performance based assessment. Then modern approaches are digital behavior analysis and gamified assessment and AI based personality analysis. Then the learning motivation. So learning and motivation. So style of learning. So learning is to learn something. So style and learning. So perceptual modalities means learn with sense. Modality means styles. So perceptual modality means visual learning by seeing, auditory learning by listen, and kinesthetic learning by doing. And read or write learning means by text. And the cognitive approach means deep versus surface process, and analytical versus holistical thing, and substantial versus global things. Then the learning framework. So Klopp's experiment learn cycle. In Klopp's experiment learn cycle, we have and the cycle like this. So concrete experience leads to reflective observation, leads to abstract conceptualization, in active experimentation leads to concrete experiments. So this cycle of Klopp's learning cycle. Then the walk and work model means visual, auditory, kinesthetic, or reading. Multiple intelligence means the cognitive intelligence, social, emotional, and cultural and spiritual intelligence. Then the technology integration, web-based integration in education system, adaptive learning. So you have to tell who is the who give the principle of multiple intelligence. Then the web-based intelligence education, adaptive learning technology, cognitive intelligence in tutoring the system. Then the model of memory. So so sensory memory have iconic means by see, and equic means listen. So sensory memory is around millisecond to seconds, and have many expense. Short-term working memory limit capacity, and items are 7 to 2 items. Long-term memory potentially unlimited capacity. Then the memory type. So declarative or explicative memory means semantic means word meaning, and episodic. So semantic means meaning of words, and episodic means connected with each other. So declarative memory, semantic and episodic. Non-declarative memory which is implicit. So and we have the procedural and primary. So procedural we have recall without conscious effort, and stimulus have relation to other stimulus. So driving a car is non-declaratory memory, and knowing the fact like my favorite restaurant is declarative memory. Then the working memory model. So we have working memory model. So a central executive, it is related to phonological means audio, episodical means the non-declaratory memory or the declarative memory, which is the connected episodes, and visual spatial sketchpad, and it is come to long-term memory. Then comes the memory process. So encoding, so information input, storage, maintenance of storage, and retrieval, information access, and consolidation, stabilization of memory trace. So then the cause of forgetting. So trace decay theory, memory fading over time, neural trace deterioration, and disuse atrophy principle. Then the second is interference effect. Proactive interference, old memory disrupt new learning, and retrospective, so new learning disrupt old memory. Then the response completion means a competition means Coca-Cola introduce of Diet Coke was strategic response to Pepsi's success with Diet Pepsi. Means if our competitor have a best practice, then we also adopt it. Then the retrieval failure means encoding specificity and principle means Q are not given. Context dependent forgetting means different environment we have forget. Then state dependent retrieval and Q dependent retrieval failure. Then the assessment of motivation. So motivation type are intrinsic means internal satisfaction, acquisition with external reward, and amotivation, lack of motivation. Then the theoretical framework. So Maslow hierarchical need means physical, safety, social, self-esteem, and self-actualization. Then self-determination theory. So the choice in absence of external influence. Then expectancy value theory. Then achievement versus value of complex tasks. Then the achievement goal theory. Fluctuation in the achievement or means fluctuation in motivation. Then the measurement approach. So self-report questionnaires, behavior indicators, performance metrics, cognitive diagnostic system. Then the application, so education, motivation assessment, performance evolution metrics, and tutor implementation means personalized internal tutoring, cognitive intelligence based, crisp practical evolution model means analyze result of education. So crisp, crisp practical evolution, we have the triangle of reaction, then learning, then behavior, then result. Then the table, so Maslow on the deficiency versus what need useful in human resource management. Self-determination action like autonomy, competence, and relatedness, so helpful in education and intervention. Expectancy value, so success expectancy versus task value, so performance evolution. Good setting, goal setting, so specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So administrative effectiveness, the goal setting theory is important. Then the stress management, so last topic is stress management. So nature of stress, so we have the two nature of stress, so biological perspective and physiographical dimension. So in biological perspective, we have general adaptation syndrome given by Slice. So he will tell that the resistance to stress and the time relation. So we have resistance is less, and in alarming situation, resistance is less and the downward. When in the resistance situation, it is highest, and after execution, it is the coming down. Then height and height response, and allostatic load concept means allostatic load concept means the curve of fatigue, optimal, and execution, which means we have resistance, so we have fatigue, and then optimal condition, then execution, exhaust. Then HPA axis activation. HPA axis activation, we have the hypothalamus gland. So in hypothalamus, we have the hypothalamus secrete the hypothalamus and pituitary secrete CRH and ACTH, and lead to adrenaline to secrete cortisol. So it is the HRS axis. Then in the stress management, we have the HR axis. Then the so a cortisol and adrenocortisol is secreted, and glucocortisol is secreted. Then then second dimension of the nature of stress is psychological dimension. So in the transaction model by Legarius, so transaction models by Legarius or the objective appraisal. So it is person dependent, means if you ARQ arise, then some people got winning and some people are there who are helping the other, and all are saved. Then the primary, so primary appraisal analyze the environment of the condition. So is he is analyze the is stimulus helpful. Then the secondary appraisal analyze the self, then toolkit which we have, one coping is still the toolkit available to handle the stress. Then the person, environment, and perceived threat versus challenge. Then the type of stress. So type of stress, we have duration based classification and quality based classification. In duration based classification, we have acute stress and chronic stress and episodic stress. So acute stress is immediate short term stress, chronic stress is persistent long term stress, and the episodic acute means recurring pattern, means have recurring but short recovery patterns. Then the quality based stress, so U stress, D stress, hypo stress, and hyper stress. So in U stress, we have positive motivation. Okay. Then this stress, we have negative and harmful stress. Then the hypo stress, we have insufficient stimulus, means boredom and restlessness. And hyper stress means excessive work stress. Then the source of stress. So we have workforce stressor, personal stressor, environmental stressor, and societal pressure stressor. So 4 types of stressor. So in workforce stressor, we have role ambiguity and conflict, workload issue, time pressure, deadline, and organization plus politics and career uncertainty. And personal stressors are major life event, family responsibility, financial concern, health issue, relationship problem. And environmental factor, physical environmental noise and crowd, and technological demand, and commuting and transportation, communication and transportation, and natural disaster. And the societal pressure, so social expectation, cultural demand, competitive environment, information overload. Then the stress, so 4 type workplace stress. So source, we have the source of stress. So the workplace and personal, environmental, and societal. So workplace, we have goal conflict measure, impact is burnout, and personal major life event, impact is anxiety, and environment physical condition, impact is physical symptom. Then the societal, we have cultural expectation, we have psychological strength. Then the system of strength, so physical modification, psychological indicators, and behavioral sign. So In physical manifestation, we have elevated blood pressure and heartbeat, muscle tension and pain, digestive disturbance, sleep disruption, immune system suppression. Then in psychological indicator, we have anxiety, worry, and irritability and anger, concentration difficulties and decision making improvement and mood fluctuation. Then the behavioral sign, we have the change in editing pattern, increased substance use, decision making impairment and mood fluctuation, and procrastination behavior. So procrastination is negative behavior to self and social withdrawal and performance decline. So effect of stress, we have health consequence. So cardiovascular disorder, gastrointestinal problem, and immunological impairment and metabolic disruption and accelerated cellular agency. Then the cognitive impact, so impaired execution, executive function, memory concentration issue, attention deficit, cognitive rigidity, and decision quality reduction. Then the performance effect of this stress, so decreased productivity, increased error rate, creativity decreasing, and communication breakdown, leadership effectiveness decline. So stress management. So stress management technique, we have cognitive technique, behavioral technique, lifestyle modification, and professional intervention. So in cognitive technique, we have cognitive restriction, mindfulness practice, problem solving training, thought stopping, and positive listening. Positive learning. Then the behavioral approach, we have progressive muscle relaxation, deep breathing exercise, physical activity and exercise, time management strategy, and feedback training. Then the lifestyle modification, self hygiene practice, nutrition optimization, work life balance, social connection cultivation, and leisure activity agreement, and professional intervention. We have counseling and psychotherapy, and stress management workshop, and employee assistant program, and coaching and mentoring, and crisis intervention service. So promotion of moral health. So we have the preventive strategies and resilience building. So in preventive strategies, we have primary prevention by reducing status, secondary prevention by early identification, and tertiary prevention, we have the rehabilitation technique. So resilience building, we have positive psychology application, emotional regulation skill, problem solving capacity, and adaptive coping strategy, and growth mindset development. Then the workplace wellness, so organizational policy development, and health promotion program, positive work environment creation, and supportive leadership practice, work design optimization. Then the community resource, so support group network, mental health service accessibility, and education outreach program, digital mental health tool, and social support mechanism. So mental health, so level, so individual level, so key strategies are stress management skill and self care practice, and target is personal resilience and well being. Then organization level, we have supporting policy wellness program, so productivity retention and engagement. Then the community level, we have support network and resource accessibility, so social cohesion and public health. Then the policy level, we have mental health legislation and healthcare access, so systemic support prevention. And then the source of stress, we have the coping, so problem focus and emotional focus coping. So this is, thank you.